Good morning and welcome to our first ever uh, video log sales lesson for RJS Roofing and Construction LLC. The first thing we're going to start off with, and we'll continue these in a more professional capacity. I'll probably get a better camera and maybe a tripod, maybe start editing these so that they look a little more official. And in the future, we'll be able to use these videos or remake them as an onboarding tool for new employees. So the first thing I want to get into today is 5 things that you can do to improve your sales at the door. Number one is start with something positive. It's easy to fall into the trap of saying that you're busy, 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 or you can comment about the crappy weather that's been going on. But studies have shown in a different field, but I think it applies, or I know it applies rather, to us, is that when waiters or waitresses, what they call start with a bang, tips improved by almost 27% with just one positive comment. So when they enter the building, they instructed all of the waitresses and waiters to say, "Good morning. How about that weather today? What a beautiful day." Or, "I'm really happy you're here today." And they tracked the tips of them prior to saying that and after they said that and or began to say that, and their tips improved around 27%. So this is fact based, this is science based. If you start with something positive, you're far more likely, almost 30% more likely to get a positive response from the consumer. Number two, what I call self harm. Never speak ill of a competitor. So you walk into a neighborhood and there is a sign across the street with a company uh, that's a competitor of us. They're another roofing company, or the customer mentions another roofing company. They have a friend that's that works for another roofing company. You never want to speak ill of a competitor. Always want to uplift our company above them rather than drag that company down. There's something in sales called spontaneous trait transference. What that means is whenever you say something ill of someone else, whether it's sales or not, this goes farther than sales. This is more of a psychology thing. When you speak ill of someone, the person you're speaking to that receives that input automatically, psychologically, they transfer that trait to you. It's just something that happens in psychology. It's something that I call self harm. When you're speaking with a customer, you never want to attack the competition. You want to lift yourself above them. The third thing I want to talk about, uh, and something that you can do, whether it's the beginning when you're starting with something positive or whether you're mid conversation with a customer, it's compliment and label is what I call it. When you assign someone a positive label, uh, in essence, like say you say that, well, I can tell you're a really intelligent person. Uh, what happens is that person tends to want to live up to that expectation or label. There's a great example that they did for a study where they went to each donor at a fundraiser and told them that they were actually in the top 5% of donors at that event that evening. And what they saw was that every person that they told that they were in the 10% or 5% of top donors, whether they were or not, exceeded their average donation. Again, this is science backed. If you assign someone or label someone with high intelligence, I like to use it as a setup. So you seem like an intelligent man, and I feel like you know when there's a good deal in front of you. What I'm telling you right now is this is a great deal. When can we get on your roof and inspect it and get you a free roof, right? Or you would fix that up however you would. I'm just spitballing here. But again, when you compliment or label someone uh, and create the perception that you visualize them in that manner, they tend to live up to it. So use that to your advantage. Another thing is, and I talked to Zhang about this one, is body language. He mentioned that a lot of times when he's asking a customer a question, he'll go ahead and shake his head yes. So when he's handing over a contingency, or when you're handing over a contingency, when you're doing things, chest up, shoulders back, knock like a professional. You don't have your phone in your hand. You've stepped back. You're smiling, right? You got a smile on your face, and you're handing over a contingency. You should be nodding your head, right? Another term that they use in sales is the yes train. So if you get a customer, saying yes, if you can get them to say yes, 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 and you present that contingency to them, or you do a soft close or a hard close on them, and you're nodding your head yes with your body language, the chances of you getting a yes to that close or that contingency skyrockets. Body language is a huge thing in sales. If you have your shoulders forward, if you're down in the dumps, and again, this goes back to the first tip I talked about, which was start with something positive. I'm so busy. The rain's just been garbage. My shoulders are all slumped, and I'm all negative. I don't have a smile on my face. You're killing yourself. You're wasting your time and their time. So shoulders back, chest up, smile on the face, and nod your head yes when you need a yes. You'll be surprised how many people mirror. That's what they call it in psychology. The last thing I want to talk about is to end on a high note. There's a funny study that they did. It's kind of gross, but colonoscopies. They were trying to figure out how to get more people to have a positive view about going to get a colonoscopy. So what they tried and what they succeeded at was the last minute of interaction the consumer, the customer had with the doctor, if it was not painful, when they did the overall survey of their experience, they found that the customers rated the entire experience significantly higher than those that just had a totally negative experience with the doctor. So end on a high note. You'd be so surprised that even if you're arguing with somebody and you say, hey, look, let's take a step back. Here's some things that I like about you. Here's some things I liked about the interaction. Just that last minute, you'd be surprised how much more memorable that is to the customer than the whole rest of the experience. So there it is, 5 things that you can work on today, even when you're pitching. You can work on it in your head and do some role play with others. Start with something positive. Number 1, avoid self-harm, talking negative about other customers or negative about anybody else. Remember, spontaneous trait transference, that just goes right back onto you. Compliment and label. When you do this, you lift up the customer to a higher standard, and a lot of times they live up to it. We got something to sell that's really great, and I think everyone in the room believes that we can help people. So this shouldn't be hard. If the person's intelligent, if you know that we can get them a roof, if the roof is garbage, whether it is or not, we can help them out and get that money from the insurance company for them to cash in and build up the equity on their home. Body language, the yes train. Make sure you're nodding your head yes whenever you need a yes. And the last thing is end on a high note. Whatever you need, whatever the experience is, make sure that at the end you end on a high note so that you are creating a space for you to come back in if you need to, and revisit that customer or close up a deal. That's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate your time, and I'll work to make these better. I know we had some background noises and we had some things going on. Again, I'm gonna work on making these more professional and easy to use later on. This is kind of just a test run, so I'll get some feedback from you guys and we'll move forward from there. Thanks.